Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and we are here in lovely, overcast Allentown for yet another paper show. They have them twice a year, April and October, and it's a nice little drive. We came down last night, woke up this morning all refreshed, and came on down. Just had some breakfast over at the farmer's market. Definitely do check it out. Really nice Amish counter. And the reason why I knew that was good is because when we first walked in about 8:30, there were no spots available. Everybody sitting up there eating are dealers who come to the show all the time. So if the dealers come to the show all the time, absolutely love that. It's going to be great. And the rain has just started. Luckily, this is an indoor show. Unfortunately, we got to walk over there a little bit in order to come on in. But we're all set. We got our whatnot bag right over here. Hope to fill this all up and show you a great haul video afterwards. Fun little show to come on down to. As I come down year after year, twice a year, I'm meeting more dealers, coming up with better deals as well. So it should be a lot of fun today. Hopefully they can get the crowd in pretty quickly so I'm not standing outside in the rain. I'll look like a drowned rat after that. We're going to show you some videos from inside, and then we're going to be back at the hotel a little later giving you the haul video as to what we find. So wish me a little bit of luck. Definitely worth checking out twice a year if you're anywhere down in the neighborhood and love paper. Do check out the farmer's market. It is unbelievably good farmer's market. I wish they had something like that up in Rochester. They do not. So we're going to go dodge some raindrops, and we will see you inside.
And here we are inside with the amazing Cool and Common we did a nice interview with. We're over here in the second part of the show, as a matter of fact. I want a big shout out over here to Mrs. Papergoy for yet again doing some great cinematography, some great items over here throughout the show. You walk in, as we've said last year when we showed you what was there. There are two rooms. You basically walk in and pretty much everybody turns to the left, which there are a few dealers over there. And then you can come over into the second part, which is probably, I would say, 2.5 to 3 times as large. Pretty expansive over here. Unfortunately, for some of the dealers, there weren't, as many customers. Plenty of room there to walk. And there were a few fewer dealers as well, especially over in what they call Postcard Alley. There were a few fewer dealers as well. This gentleman here has the book set up. And one of the things, and I've been going to shows for years, if you set your books up like that, they better be higher priced books just because you're using so much table space for it. So you've got to really either have higher priced books at that moment, or it's like an extra table that you just basically didn't need, so you just put whatever out in order to show some wares. Got photos. You got a little bit of everything just throughout over here. No doubt at all about that. And money is changing hands, and that's the important thing about these shows as well. That dollhouse there, or whatever, the little house there, looked like it was not paper. But otherwise, as you can see, it's just loaded with paper. And do check out Rat Stash. Rat Stash does have a couple of videos, a good friend of the channel. They actually set up with Cool and Common over at the show as well. And they got some videos as well from inside, talking to dealers and all of that. Nice little group of items right over there as well. And we're going to jump over into some other stuff over here. More tables. Those are the postcard area, or some of the postcard dealers, and people are all sitting down with their chairs going through the postcards, which all of the veterans of the postcard shows are well aware of. You've got the little markers so you can keep where you were in the box. And the good dealers, of course, have everything sorted by state and that sort of thing. But if you've never been to a show before with a lot of postcards, it's a little overwhelming watching them, and you're saying, wow, the organization that you need just in order to be a postcard dealer. It's really amazing. A lot of work. And just the sheer number of postcards that a lot of these dealers have is just amazing as well. Because when you stop and realize how small one postcard is, yet they have table after table after table of them. Just absolutely amazing, really, when you get down to that part as well. A lot of just neat things throughout this show, though. And it's definitely worth going to if you've never gone there before. If you're anywhere near the Allentown area, really close to Philadelphia as well. They have the show twice a year. April and first, I believe it's the last week of April, if I remember correctly. Yep, there's a spot where a dealer should be and is not. Last week of April and first week of October. So twice a year, definitely worth coming. And then go across the street to the farmer's market, like I said, and get a really, really good breakfast. Get some energy before you go. And you know it's good breakfast because it's reasonably priced and good breakfast because a lot of dealers were sitting up at the counter. In fact, we couldn't even get a seat when we first got there because all the dealers were sitting there. So if the dealers that do the show year after year keep going back to the same place to eat, well, then you know it's got to be really, really good. How neat is that whole little dental kit right over there that we just saw? Not exactly paper, but still really, really interesting little item right there. I wouldn't really know how to sell it. And honestly, those kind of things kind of would scare me trying to sell because you get into medical and you never know what you can and cannot sell. Peels, and you got the nice little beer tray, which again is not just paper, it's primarily paper, but not just paper, is given that we've seen a few different items right there that were not paper. And you got the Halloween skeleton set up back there as well. Just a lot of neat stuff. Now, this gentleman has some really nice stuff over here, and I didn't buy any of it. Actually, I don't think I saw his table because just recognizing what he has, he's actually from the Rochester area. I bought from him up here. Somehow I missed his table. Because I was running over to that table you just saw there with $1 each item. Actually had some pretty good items over there again, which you'll see near the end of the video. The only problem was the items were so good that people were basically elbow to elbow there buying stuff. So it was really hard to really look at very much stuff just because of the way it was set up. But some really good buys over there as well. And, you know, these comic books and all this stuff there. And a couple of people basically had their regular tables set up and then had a couple of tables across as well. So kind of interesting just the amount of space that some of these dealers can use up. It's amazing. Must be some postcards there just by the way the chairs are set up over there, along with a lot of other neat stuff throughout. So I was able, spoiler alert, able to buy some stuff, and I've got some nice stuff coming up here at the end of the video that you'll definitely want to see. But just kind of gives you an idea here is how expansive this entire thing is. Well, one little problem, it did start to rain while we were there, and Cool and Common had mentioned a couple of drops of rain came in on him. Apparently needed a little bit of work there on the roof over here at this place. They need to get that fixed. Water and paper do not mix. I didn't hear anybody else complaining. I did see some signs up the warning that it was slippery, so you got to be careful on that as well. Going to keep going over here. Just a lot of dealers is really what it is, and it really is overwhelming when you first get there. Luckily, I've been there. This is the third time that I've been there, so I've got some kind of a plan of action. But if you were coming over here for the first time, these things are always overwhelming. And in fact, usually when I go to a show for the first time, I'm not expecting necessarily to find a ton of stuff if it's a large show. As much as anything else, I'm putting in the work the first time in order to make my next times even better. Because again, you got to get a plan of action in something rather like this. I mean, look at that. I mean, just look at how expansive that is. And you just walk in not understanding and not knowing, and you're like, what the heck? Look at how much stuff there is. And you can end up getting bogged down at the first couple of tables and never even make it through the whole thing, especially if you weren't paying attention when you walked in. You go, oh, there's only like 20 dealers, not realizing there's this entire room full of dealers as well. I know that now, and I've got a plan of action now. So definitely does help to be going back to the same show year after year after year. And there's all the postcard dealers all set up with all their chairs out there as well. So you kind of go for a little walk through here and see what else we got going on over here. And we're back at the hotel. Had a really fun day over there. Good time over at the farmer's market. Ended up eating at the Amish place for lunch as well. Very, very good. Mrs. Papergoy had the best meatloaf she's ever had in her life. Really good over there. Fun to do that. Walked around the show as well. Saw a few dealers that I know as well. We'll have an interview with Cool and Common coming up separately. Definitely do watch that. Ended up spending some money this year. There were some dealers there with bulk lots, which I've not seen before. And they literally were just selling as bulk lots. They were leaving some meat on the bone, so I was able to buy a few of those. I'm going to make some money off of those as well. Some highlights of what I bought, because I know that's what you're tuned in for. Probably the highlight of the day. And do check me out on Whatnot. It's going to be a while until I do it again. But every September/October, I end up doing a holiday show. And you are going to see this in the holiday show. How nice is this? With the great little mask on the back. That will be over in the holiday show. So I'm already starting to curate that for you. I ended up picking this up for $1. I don't know how this was there still, but it was. Keeping with the holiday theme. Does have a little bit of a tear down over here, but still, Christmas carols. This also was $1. The reason why I ended up buying this over here is it's Raphael Tuck. For those of you who don't know, Raphael Tuck is definitely a name to look for. Even with this damage over here, it's worth well more than $1. So I ended up picking up that as well. Another item that I picked up that I'll be bringing up, I didn't even know that he did it, but Andy Warhol's Dracula. This here is a lobby card. I knew nothing at all about it. Paid $1 for this as well. I'll be offering this over at Whatnot for $3. Again, it's got Dracula, it's got Andy Warhol. What more could you possibly want? Another magazine to definitely keep a look for out there. Now, I did pay $10 for it, but it is a very good magazine. Burr McIntosh Monthly. Do keep your eyes open for these out there. They're not as hot as they used to be, but they're still $25 to $40 magazines, no matter what issue you get. Some issues are actually more than that as well. So I did pick this one up for that. This was $1. He originally wanted $60. Unfortunately, it got damaged. It got wet. That being said, I'm certain it's still worth more than $1, which is why I paid $1 for it. But great little bicycle race over here. And again, it does have some damage on it. But to pay $1 for something other like that, and especially because he originally wanted $60, really, really neat item. You do not see a lot of bicycle race programs out there. Sometimes I end up buying things that just because it just seems like it's going to be good. Timmy the Timid Ghost wanted $5 on it. And you say, big deal, why would you buy something like this? The reason why is because it's 100 pages, 25 cents back when comics were a dime. I said, there's no way a lot of these ended up being produced, sold. Sure enough, it's about a $50 comic book. So not bad at all for a $5 buy. That's just one of those things that just felt like it would be a difficult book, and sure enough, it was. So pretty happy with that buy over there. A few other quick things over here. I ended up paying $5 for this. It is a religious program from 1930, but the primary reason why I bought it is it also still has the pin in it. Now, I'm sure there are probably a fair number of programs out there, probably a fair number of pins out there. I can't imagine that many of them are still married. So this definitely is something other to keep your eyes open for when you see something other like that. I think I can make some money on that. I really didn't have a lot of friends growing up, so I read the comic book price guide, and sure enough, believe it or not, this is actually in the Platinum Age comics of the price guide, so therefore I need it. I do have one, not in quite a nice a shape. Ended up paying $9 for it. I'm certain it guides for more. When I eventually sell off my Platinum Age comics, this will be sold as part of that deal as well, but that's just kind of just knowing what's considered a comic book and what's not ends up paying off as well. Just a few more items over here that I ended up picking up. I've mentioned to you any number of times, pick up the Wizard of Oz. This is really, really a cute little Wizard of Oz item over here. Definitely going to sell. I paid a buck for it as well, mainly because of the Wizard of Oz thing there. I've brought them to you many, many times. They all go for $20 to $25, so not a bad little buy there. I ended up paying $3 for this. I thought this was interesting. Grand Carnival and Baby Parade in Keansburg, New Jersey. It actually is a program from 1914. Lots of great ads and all that kind of thing over there. So for a $3 investment on something or other like this, I thought that was a good deal. This actually goes to show that once in a while I do pay attention. This actually is first appearance of Weapon X, which is a pretty good comic book. It's about a $20 to $25 comic book. It was sitting in a guy's dollar bin. Midway through today, which is the first day, but all the dealers also had gone through and picked. So the dealers all left this behind as well. So I'm not going to complain about a $25 comic book for $1. Western Auto Christmas 1977. Picked this up. We know how much we love catalogs, but this one is just loaded with toys, and that's really what you really want is toys. You put as many pictures as you possibly can. I saw there was a picture of a Batmobile in there and much more. So something rather like this, you're going to put a higher price on just because it's got really primo toys in it. Speaking of catalogs, Niagara Stoves and Ranges. This is from turn of the century. And it's got lots and lots and lots of great illustrations in it. Another one of these things you just throw a high price on because just the page after page after page of great illustrations. So that's a great little item right there. A guy had a pile of Polish and Czechoslovakian things from behind the Iron Curtain. This is a 1957 program for a Czechoslovakian film festival. I said, how many of these possibly are there out there? I was able to talk them down to a reasonable price on them. I suppose his opening price was reasonable as well. They're just going to take me some time to sell because I'm going to have to do some research on them. That being said, every once in a while you get something other that you know is truly rare and you just kind of you take a chance on it. And this would be my thing over here, this and a bunch of Polish movie magazines also from behind the Iron Curtain. So that's something I thought was pretty neat. Guy had this over here, Topps Uncut Strips, 1980 baseball cards. And I'm like, is that $5 per? He goes, no, $5 for the whole pile. Cannot go wrong with that. I don't even know who is on there. I don't know where he got them from, but I do know that $5 for this many of them is a heck of a deal. Last couple of items here. Kind of hard to see there, but this is Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles, like a playbill kind of thing over here. Which was really, really neat. University of Southern California. You got the actors in there and everything like that. This is something or other that you'll probably be able to just name your price on because it's so cool. Ray Bradbury always sells, and I've not gone through the names yet, but for all I know, one of those names could be really good as well. So kind of a neat little item that I picked up. And the final item, I did a little research. I didn't see anything on it. I took a chance, paid $10 on it. Mickey Mouse Capers. Reason I bought it, 1933, not Walt Disney. So I don't know if this was a knockoff type thing, trying to play off on Mickey Mouse's name, or exactly what it was. No idea at all. Took a chance on it at $10. I figured worst case scenario, I can't lose any money on it because it is 1933. And even if it's not truly Mickey Mouse from Disney, just being from that era with the name Mickey Mouse, you're going to have the Disney collectors who are going to want it just to kind of add to their collection as well. So it kind of caught my eye. Did pay the $10 for it, but it is kind of an odd little piece. I got to do some more research on it. So hopefully you like the stuff that I bought. I bought a bunch more stuff. I'm still sorting out down over there. Did end up buying some bulk buys, but it was a lot of fun. We'll be heading back out here again in April, so stop on up and say hi if you see me. And want to thank y'all for coming along on this ride with me. Hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.